So the first proclaimed actual vaccine for the coronavirus is apparently out now. Of course, there's hundreds of companies probably at this point all over the planet who have been trying to work for and develop a big COVID-19 vaccine. A bunch of American companies have gotten in towards the clinical trials. They're pretty much, I guess, in the long stretch, if you want to call it that and whatnot. But apparently, the first virus vaccine has actually come forward. It's actually out now, and orders are being placed for it all across the world. And there's a lot of questions being raised around it. So, I mean, we all know what's been going on outside, man. That COVID pandemic, it's been crazy. It's done a lot of damage to the global economy. It's been just absolutely tragic how many people have been killed by this and everything that's been going on. But Russia is now basically holding out, saying that they have a vaccine for the coronavirus. As a matter of fact, this is all coming from the head of the Russia Direct Investment Fund. And the vaccine is apparently so, I guess, proclaimed trustworthy by the Russian government that even Vladimir Putin's daughter has taken the vaccine. As of right now, 20 countries around the world have actually right now requested over 1 billion doses of this coronavirus vaccine. That's enough to vaccinate a large portion of the global population. Now, the vaccine has been named Sputnik 5, which is a reference to the 1957 launch of the world's first satellite by the Soviet Union. As of right now, countries in Latin America, the Middle East, and Asia have displayed the greatest interest in the vaccine, apparently, and they're about to finalize a number of contracts for the purchase of the vaccine. And they've already prepared to manufacture over 500 million doses of the vaccine per year in 5 different countries, and the plan even goes as far as to ramp up production capacity even higher than what it is now. Now, apparently a big reason behind why this vaccine is being pushed so hard is because of political pressure from the Kremlin, the Russian government, because they're trying to keep Russia, I guess, as one of the top countries in the world, right? When it comes to being viewed in like scientific contributions. Basically, the Russian government wants to look like, hey, our scientists are really good. We can also contribute on a global stage along with, all the major scientific countries. Look, we did the coronavirus vaccine. We had the first one out and whatnot. Now, an important note actually here that I think should definitely be noted. First off, there's no scientific research that's been released for this vaccine by the Russians. There's no scientific data on the testing. There's no way that it's been verified, the claimed safety or effectiveness by outside sources. In fact, the Russian vaccine has yet to even pass the crucial phase 3 testing stage. Now, this is the stage that a few, I think, American vaccines are already in. This is where they start to kind of test the vaccine in a mass scale. They start to actually use more of the population and whatnot to test the vaccine. At that point, there's usually thousands upon thousands of recipients who basically volunteer to participate in taking it. This is where they learn about the drug's safety and effectiveness. And as of right now, there's no information on that. It hasn't been done. And apparently the current plan is to do it across the seas in other countries. So that right there, I think, is going to hold a lot of questions because, they got the first vaccine out, but is it going to be safe? Is it going to be effective? That's two of the big concerns when it comes to a virus vaccine, because they're going to try and get the vaccine that has the highest safety rating and the most effectiveness in order to give that to people instead, It could turn out that, an American vaccine, a Canadian vaccine, any vaccine essentially could come out right, and it could be safer and more effective. That's because it's already went through the phase 3 testing trials and whatnot. It's already been completely checked out before they even started releasing it and signing contracts for it and whatnot. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that whole thing plays out there. But one thing to note is that the US government is already starting to, I guess, write contracts and purchase doses. In fact, I think today the news broke that the US government was going to buy 100 million doses of Moderna's vaccine whenever it comes to, I guess, out of the phase 3 trial. Companies like BioNTech and Pfizer have also basically seen the US government throw money at them for research and development of vaccines, potentially buying all their doses as well. But the thing is, and the difference is, the key difference, the Russian vaccine, of course, is not tested to the degree that the US vaccine will be. They're trying to get theirs out as fast as possible, which of course, the US is too, but they're trying to get theirs out first. That way it can look like, oh, hey, look at us. We have the best vaccine, the best scientists. We did it first. So when it comes down to it, I don't really know or think, honestly, that the Russian vaccine is going to see like mass implementation. I don't think, Americans are going to be lining up at their local health clinic to get this Russian vaccine or anything crazy like that. But what we do know is that, some sort of vaccine is on the way. I mean, we've seen this COVID pandemic explode. The US, of course, has the most cases. A few other countries like Brazil and India, I believe, are also seeing their cases spike. There's a lot of debate going on here in the United States in particular about the future, I guess, of of handling this vaccine. Obviously, school is set to restart soon, right? Kids are supposed to be going back to school. There's been a lot of talk about potentially canceling the school year or delaying it for a few months. A lot of schools seem to be ready to go back. A lot of kids are doing either hybrid learning or fully online. Hybrid is basically when like you go to physical classes 2 days a week, the other 3 are online or whatever. It really just kind of depends, I think. It really is going to depend on the school district, how many cases they see, if they're going to shut back down or anything like that. But I do think we're going to see a continuous increase in COVID-19 cases until an effective vaccine is really found. I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard road ahead. And I mean, the world does need a vaccine as quickly as possible. But I think we can all agree we want the vaccine to be safe and we want it to be effective. And this is just, you know, for reference or whatever. I would rather wait an extra 3 months for the US to get a vaccine out if it meant that it was like 99% safe and 99% effective than to get a Russian vaccine right now that it has like a 32% safety rating and like a 48% effectiveness rating. It's not even really the fact that it's coming from Russia that I distrust it. When it comes down to this kind of thing, I want the scientific proof. I want the data. You know, I want to be able to look at that and say, yeah, that's safe for me to put into my body. I think that's how most people are. You know what I'm saying? At least most people who actually care about vaccines in the first place. We want to know that it's safe and effective. We want to know that we're not just putting something in our body. Now, even though other countries are purchasing contracts and whatnot to get this vaccine, I think that that's because it's more or less like a panic response, you know what I'm saying? Countries in Latin America, the Middle East, and Asia, they've struggled, you know what I'm saying? They've struggled with the COVID pandemic. Many countries still don't have it under wraps, even though, you know, in the news, a lot of the time you see that America's like the only country that hasn't handled it. That's not the case. A lot of these countries simply haven't handled it, and I think that they're purchasing large supplies of this vaccine simply because it's the first out, and they think that maybe this will, I guess, help them impact the virus exploding in their country and hopefully prevent flare-ups, which I understand, and it's not like this is just, I guess, concerns that I'm bringing up myself or that other people are bringing up. We're talking about scientists and researchers who are bringing up concerns. There's a lot of worry about this vaccine because, yeah, you know, sure, it's the first one in the world that's actually been approved, but there's a lot of belief that they have essentially just cut a bunch of corners in the development of this vaccine. Maybe cut down on safety measures. Maybe they cut down on the effectiveness or the potency. You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know, it seems a little suspicious that Russia just, you know, throws this out and it's just out here, right? We just got this whole vaccine or whatever. Out of the blue, no updates on it before. Nobody knew anything about it. And then the next thing you know, oh, hey, we have the vaccine. So the World Health Organization doesn't even know enough about the vaccine, which isn't totally surprising, but they want to look into it a little more. They want to see the data behind it and everything. And they want to, I guess, try to verify it for themselves that this is an effective vaccine before, I guess, they endorse it or whatever. So at the end of the day, I mean, it might actually be an effective vaccine. It might be something that really works well. It might be something that, you know, all this negative hype around it is unfounded. Well, not really unfounded because there's no data or evidence that it works really beside, hey, trust us, it works. And honestly, I kind of hope that that's the case. If we can get an effective vaccine out there before, you know, this thing gets any worse, right? If we can get this effective vaccine out there and it can save lives, I don't really care what country it comes from. It doesn't have to come from the United States. It most likely will come from the United States, the one that works the best and whatnot, because so much money is being poured into research here, and we're like collaborating with global scientists and whatnot to do this. But I mean, if this one actually does work, I mean, that's better for everybody, I think. But yeah, until the proof comes through, until the data is actually there to prove that this works, well, I think we'll wait on Sputnik 5. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll take a second look at that one. So yeah, that's really all I have to say in this video, though, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you do enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, waiting to see if Sputnik 5 is actually effective, and signing out.